a team to ensure your spot in the champs bracket, lose, and throw your entire pool into a three-way tie.
It's funny we talk about that here because that's what Epsilon fell victim to in Stage 1 this year. You know, it ended up being what LG, I think, played spoilers to it. I can't remember the exact scenario, but LG, United LG, right?
Yeah, LG beat E United in a game 5
yes.
to knock them out.
And had that gone differently, Epsilon would have been into the top 2. And I can tell you, those guys, I talked to a couple of players, they said they wanted to throw up the entire series. They were sitting up there, they felt sick to their stomachs. I talked to E6 about a similar scenario in Stage 2. I was talking to Royalty. He's like, I was literally pacing back and forth for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's very accurate. That's exactly how it is.
It's got to be just terrifying.
Don't let it get to that point.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
Win
your matches. You don't worry about that.
All right.
Don't lose games.
So even in your playing career, Matt, you never had a situation where you were relying on another result?
No, because once I started to get bad and there was the threat of that happening, I just stopped. So I never had to go through that pain. I just gave up before we even got there.
That's why your career was so short.
Champs. Matt actually, you played at COD
Champs. I beat Mind Freak.
You had like
What's up, APAC?
Yeah.
You're talking about one of the greatest coach to ever live in Call of Duty right here.
You had what?
Like the only one.
All you do
you had a top 10 KD, right?
Yeah, top 10 KD.
2013.
This conversation always makes me
shout out to Ogre 2 with that Type 25 MMS.
Dude, I remember that. Watching you guys play back then. Good times.
Was it?
No, not watching you play.
Really.
Watching the rest of that tournament definitely was, but it looks like 2017 could be set to potentially even take the best COD champs. I mean, after one day we had epic moments. We had a 1v4 clutch. We had a fair amount of 007s. I'm not sure what was going on.
We had the biggest 1v1 fail I've ever
Juju,
seen.
I'm sorry, dude, but it's
I know that
I had to close my eyes.
I think one of the big reasons that I'm really, really excited for this champs, and previously before the Call of Duty World League existed, and you had various leagues, through MLG, and they didn't exactly tie into champs like they do now. And roster mania seemed to be every other week. Like there were so many team changes. Everybody played for everybody. The storylines, yes, there were a lot, but they were so scattered. I feel like we have such distinct and incredible stories throughout this year because the continuity you've had of teams and the couple changes that did happen are even more, I guess, even bigger. This weekend's going to be incredible.
I honestly think if you look at kind of the skill of so many different teams, I think this grand final could have the potential to be the best grand final in Call of Duty history.
I think top to bottom, this is the most competitive champs has ever been. Like in the terms of like the quality of teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you look back at some of the other champs, like Clint's kind of talking about, right? There are numerous ways where you can kind of just play for like a little bit and just kind of get in.
Yep.
This was a build-up the entire year. You had to get through, good teams to make it here. And I think I saw maybe in Pac-Man. He's like, in the past it was like the grind to get to champs. Then when you got the champs, you didn't worry, right? Because you knew you were going to play pretty well and you can get into the bracket. It's like this is a different beast though, because I feel like there's so many good teams in groups that like now is really where it gets tough.
And just to clarify real quick, like for maybe newer viewers, Call of Duty Championship used to happen in March, so it was very early in the year. I mean, the game wasn't even in its final form when you talk about rules and weapons. Like, it changed so much past that. So it was a lot rawer. Teams didn't have, I think, strategies and game modes nailed down as much as they do now. And these past 2 years, by moving it back further in the year and the league feeding into it, I love Call of Duty esports, man. I love it.
Roof and Ray with those dual pistols, dude.
The dual caps.
Don't forget the scanner. Don't forget the millimeter scanner. We saw him through the walls before
Put the
Ray
AR
ran in
away.
with
I got my double BRs out.
Ray would be like, you see him through the walls, and then run in with the Kimbos and just blast them away.
They're dead now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
For days.
Hey, man.
And, just to, we talked a lot about champs, and just to touch on the match here a little bit, maybe a little bit of history for this Epsilon team. Outside of Josh, you're looking at 3 guys that were on FOB last year. No one gave them much of a chance outside of Bryce Tacular last year. And, this is a team
you
that
called
made
him
a
Bryce. I have never heard anyone call Brycey Bryce Tacular by his Twitter handle.
This is a team that shocked
That's
the
like
world.
you saying, oh, Benson and you, great to have you.
Come on, man.
Like,
I'm trying to tell the beautiful story of FOB and
I'm
Epsilon players. They got 3rd place, 4th place at the Call of Duty Championship last year.
Do you even know what place they got?
Fun fact about Josh is he was actually the first European player to win a European event with American teams on their soil.
EGL8.
EGL8. Fun fact. So he knows how to play against American teams and I could see them going far in COD champs if they get past this, which I'm pretty sure 3's up.
So think about it. You got 3 players that got 4th last year. You got Josh, who got 2nd last year. You have a lot of recent champs pedigree on this team. It would certainly be shocking for them to lose this series to 3's up and not make a run. Even though, what's the best finish? Moch 4?
You want another champs? Another fun fact, Bruce?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I hate with another fun fact. MadCat is the only player to beat a North American team on European soil and North American soil.
That's including this year now, though, right?
Yep.
Oh, man.
There you go.
MadCat the boss, man.
MadCat and Josh used to be an old school duo back in the day. It's very weird to see them, even for me, you could probably ask Bryce the same thing. It's weird to see them not on the same team. Obviously, a lot of chemistry between those two players.
If you're hanging out outside the event, you'll notice them two always hanging out. So
they're great
they're
friends,
best
dude.
friends.
I think that's part of what makes Call of Duty esports so great. You know, yes, the game changes every year. Yes, we've had different operators and different ways things have fed into champs. But what stayed the same is the players. For the most part, yes, there has been new blood. Yes, there has been old blood go out. But the history between them, I think, is what makes it a beautiful thing. I love it.
The best way I always explain it is Proof and Dave's relationship will be different than Jordan and Dave's. I know his gamer tag's his first name, but you get what I'm saying? Like, the gamer tags doesn't tell the story of the actual people. For example, like you saw Clay yelling at Optic after the United Optic match. In game, that will always be like that. Outside the game, you'll see us sitting outside just talking, chatting, and being best friends.
That particular match, I don't know about that.
May not have been the best one to pick.
No, I'm telling you, this is facts. I was hanging out with him right after it happened. And Steph was like, what up with that, man? And Clay's kind of like,
strongly disagree on this point.
Yeah,
but,
it's like...
but for the most part, I agree.
It's like Crim and Aches.
I don't think they like each other.
No, in-game, they yell at each other.
I don't think...
Out of game,
I think it's in between both.
condo.
I think it's in between both. I think there's always going to be, like...
But for the most part, I do.
A rivalry, like... If you're a rival in game, you're going to be a rival outside of the game. You can still be friends and you can still be, respectful of one another. But I still think there's certain players that you can look at other certain players.
I think Formal would jump kick him out of game given the chance.
You're playing for 1.5
I don't think Formal likes anyone but W's.
No, see, he reminds me of. I'm just trying to think of a mentality. Not saying he is the Jordan of COD at all, but from a mentality standpoint,
you want to say it though.
But you want just to be that assassin that wants to destroy everything around him. People don't see that side of him. He absolutely has that. I don't think he really loves anyone.
Once the game starts, it's a competition. Like you need to compete. Yeah, it's not like the thing that bugs me the most. I'm going to be honest is when like a team loses. And, like, everybody's, like, smiling about, wow, that shot was great. It's like, you just lost the game for money. It's your job. Why are you smiling?
Be better.
Well, as we're waiting for Echo Fox Optic to start, thank you for the history lesson we've now given you.
We didn't just go down history. We went down history lane of COD esports right there.
I think it's good. I think it's good for new viewers. If they don't understand what's at stakes, where players have been, I love it.
Well, as you mentioned, Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox, of course, that is the other matchup in this group. That is Group A. We'll keep you updated with how Epsilon 3 is up. Finishes, of course, Epsilon 1-0 up in the series. Looking good to potentially go 2-0 up, but I believe Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox has now begun. Again, to reiterate, this is a must-win matchup for Echo Fox. Map 1, Hardpoint Scorch.
All right, Matt, let's get into it. We're going to find out if, Optic Gaming comes to this with a fire to guarantee that first seed, or if maybe they're all smiles like we saw with the MVP players, maybe a little bit more lax, and there's an opening for Echo Fox to make a play.
I think they're going to take this more serious than what we saw Envy after they won their first game, to be honest with you.
Well,
I think
different. Envy already secured the #1 spot, obviously, yesterday. But
yeah, but I think Optic, you need to set a tone for the weekend, right? I think that you had a great day yesterday. You have a day today where, let's say, this series gets interesting. You don't play as good. That kind of lingers into the next day, and you kind of lose all that positivity you built on day one. So I look for Optic Gaming to come in here and just blow the doors off of Echo Fox.
Well, they're about to have a 43-second hold on the bridge hard point. We see it sometimes in the second rotation. Not very often do we see it in the first. 41-1 off the opening hard point, and they busted through Turbine like it was made out of glass.
Formal in the hill here, starting off 4-0. It's Optic Gaming up 51-1 and counting. It's Formal definitely is, I think he's looking even past the finals. He's like, how do I get the MVP at the end? I mean, I feel like he's been unreal this weekend. He's been unreal throughout the entire year, and I feel like, every season he's been great, but it's just kind of that last event of the year that really sours everybody's kind of view on his year, and I don't think he wants to go down like that this year.
And, I think Matt mentioned earlier, but he ended day one. He played 2 series with a 1.89 overall KD. And I know you don't take much from pool play, but they did beat a team like Epsilon, who many consider to be a top 2 team in Europe. Impressive stuff, but everybody rolling right now for Optic Gaming. Echo Fox still holding on to that breadstick. 1 point on the board.
They're locking it down.
Yeah. Maybe It made me think of that Italian, what is it, Olive Garden, the all-you-can-eat?
The bread,
Soup,
oh,
salad,
yeah, yeah.
breadsticks.
I've actually never eaten at an Olive Garden.
One of my favorite things in the world. But they just continue to control. Echo Fox, though, finally racking up some time as they've gotten into hangar. We'll see if Optic Gaming are able to break. Something is happening on Bravo because I hear Bryce losing his mind.
Well, you see Crim trying to get in, but there's nobody there that's close for Optic Gaming, so this is a good hold for Echo Fox here in the hangar, but they're going to lose control of the hill. You see Formal in the kill feed picking up 2 kills. Karma's going to come in, trade it out. He's going to earn score streaks as well, as Karma on a 6 streak going to break in a hangar for Optic Gaming. As I know, they potentially hold on to this hill, Maven. They're going to go up by more than 100.
Yeah, and that was a nice one-on-one win from Karma, like you said. That the time he gets, or the points for the hard point, also the points for the kill, gets him fully streaked out. So that'll be one more tool to use as this game goes on. And you know, as good as Echo Fox looked in the LCQ, you need to remember they were playing for other teams in an LCQ that had not impressed all year, had not played, you know, really competitively in the league outside of a couple. Should you be surprised if this is the outcome when you're playing against who many consider to be the best team in the world right now?
It's a tough match for Echo Fox. Every way you look at it, it's a tough match for Echo Fox. Their goal before this should have been get to this match without having to win it. Yes. That's where they kind of screwed themselves. It's like, you need to get to this match if you're Echo Fox. That would have been your goal the entire weekend. Get to the Optic match and have it be a match that does not mean anything. Have your spot already be locked up.
It's tough. You know,
they don't.
We talked about, you know, replays. He did some coaching and managing this year and decided to compete. He has a championship ring to his name, back with the Denial squad alongside the Alexa Placer, J-Cap attached. Guy's got a winning mentality, and he wanted to bring it back. Unfortunately for you, pal, welcome back to the CWL. You have to go through Optic Gaming to play in bracket play.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. I don't really do that too often.
I love questions.
Never really have much of a relevant answer, but
pretty true.
Optic Gaming goes on. They end up winning this whole thing. Out of these 4 players, who has the most impressive resume?
On the team?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, oh, God. I think you have to give it to Karma because he's going to be the lone man standing with 3 rings. Crim, oh, God. Crim then has the most tournament wins. He already does. So I guess it's more impressive because Karma gets that 3rd ring, which is like a first. Crim already holds the crown for most wins. Then he gets his 2nd. Formal, I don't think, can really be in it just because he's still a young player. I think if you just included the case of time since they've been teammates, I mean, Formal's resume is pretty absurd, but... And Scum. That's an impossible question to answer.
It's a really difficult...
My gut says Karma. Three champs rings, that's where I think you have to go. There's a reason we hype this event up every year. It is the biggest event in the entire world. Many don't care what you do before it. I think you have to say Karma.
Yeah, I think I would kind of go towards that as well. I mean, it'd be kind of like winning 3 Super Bowl rings with 3 different teams. Like, it's... Especially in vastly different games. Like, it's pretty impressive, you know, just from a longevity aspect, right? Like, that you're able to come to the best tournament of the year. You know, the teams may change, the game changes, you know, your own roster changes, and you're still able to somehow find your way to a final and win it. So, I think that would be just a great debate.
Crimsix has 2 score streaks. He apparently did not want a Trinity rocket.
Replays didn't want to go push the hill with his teammates, so he decided to blow Ruiz up.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Ruiz.
This has been, you know, we talked about it a little bit in the pregame where, you know, this is a must-win for Echo Fox, and, you know, maybe Optic comes out and they kind of take this, you know, game not as serious as some of their ones yesterday, right? You put yourself in a great spot if you're 2-0 yesterday. You are seeing no signs of that.
No.
This is a team that, I know, comes into the weekend so focused.
Yeah, well, you know, we're talking about the focus of this team. I actually want to toss this over. Let's listen to the team chat.
Play the back with him, Yeah, stay alive. 1 in the back. Breeze is mid-moon. One hall, guys. Stay alive back there if you can.
Trying to.
I'm coming your hall. Coming your hall.
I felt the map.
Oh. They left hill.
Yeah, low pinching, 1L. Coming. Front door, dead. Behind you, Damon.
Bottom, dead. Oh, another one box, right side.
Got him.
Nice, 4.
Front, maybe?
Last guy's replays.
Hill,
See it, hill?
Yeah, he's hall.
Nice, 4. I'm blocking the back, someone hold middle.
Mosh weak. In the wall. Mosh weak hall. Wall, methods, 1 shot, wall, or Ruiz, 1 shot.
I got your hall,
Going bottom wall right now.
Getting out of hill, he's scared.
Playing it slow,
Yeah, there's one hall.
One shot. He's there. Going front, hitting it. Front right now, Ruiz.
Dead. Maybe hall or bottom?
Hall's front,
hall.
The bottom.
I'm gonna hit out lab.
Oh, no health.
Bottom out,
No health hall. He hit it. Right side hall. Right side hall. He's in heal
It's
now.
all you guys. It's all you guys.
Get full streak, Seth. I spawned at new with you, Ian.
One's gotta be in new.
Here, Ian.
Blue, dude. These
Two
guys are
in new.
fucking
Two in new.
annoying.
Blue. One guy's behind the drill.
Absolute no, Ruiz.
Just gonna streak. I'm gonna streak.
I think he's in blue.
I think you very clearly hear and see a team that is looking to close this out quickly. You know, I mentioned that this could be a trap game. It is evidently not. They just smashed the Echo Fox.
This one is not been too competitive. It's got to be a big damper for Echo Fox. You know, you try to come in here, you know, get this first win. You put yourself in a good spot the rest of the series. Maybe you still search. You know, you go to an up lane, you keep it low scoring. Maybe you're able to take this and find a way through. But you know, I definitely think after this game they're going to kind of look at each other and be like, oh no, like they're here to play today. Like what do we do?
And, you know, we're talking about a team that's been so exceptional in Search and Destroy recently in Optic Gaming. Oh, my God. I just don't know what you do. I don't know how you respond to this.
Here's the thing that's different for Optic, you know, than past years. Right, Advanced Warfare, you know, maybe they don't have the best team going in, right? Maybe they just didn't have, you know, all the talent there. You know, they weren't all locked in. I know Formal's first champs with the roster. Maybe he's just not comfortable. You can kind of understand that loss. Last year, they were horrible in Search and Destroy. That was their, you know, it hurt them so bad coming into this event. This year, there is not one thing you can pinpoint that is wrong with this team coming into this event. This is the one that I think you would be the most shocked if they lose it.
And I completely agree with you, Matt. If they don't win this event, I think everyone would look at it and be like, all right, how? Like, last year, to your point, they were still expected to win. It was crazy they didn't win, but you could definitely say...
But you could see a road how they would lose.
Right. You could see the clear weakness this year.
Where is it?
The biggest gift to Optic Gaming is a United Luminosity round 1 matchup if that happens. Because it'd be, I believe, on the opposite side of the bracket. And they wouldn't have to worry about their two biggest threats. It
would just be blessed. It would be blessed. And I think the scary thing is, as well, is in past years, you've seen, you know, the team favored to kind of come in and feel favored. This team is, I can tell you right now, Optic is the first in the venue, the first to warm up. They are taking this like their lives are dependent on this.
There is a part of me, though,
okay,
that would love to see, you can comment on this, that would love to see this team, though, get to the winter final. And with the pressure that they've had over the last few years, like, you could talk about it, like, because you played for Optic, like, and especially with the way they've kind of bombed out of these champs previously, there will be more pressure on them in that match than any other. I don't know how they'll react to that.
I completely agree with you. I feel like this event already put so much pressure on their shoulders. The fact that they won the last event and you got a repeat now at COD Champs, it's already hard enough to win back-to-back events. So they put that pressure on their shoulders. It's COD Champs, you know, your Seth, you've been playing for years at the highest level, dominating year after year after year, and all you want is that ring to solidify your dynasty. It's just so much pressure on their shoulders, and this is the only tournament that will put pressure on them, in my opinion.
It all comes down to legacy for me, the word legacy. You have two players that have already pretty clearly defined their legacy in Crim6 and Karma. Two players trying to define their legacy in Formal and Scum.
Agreed. I couldn't have said that better.
Well, of course, that was a quick
Sometimes I talk well.
At the at the Epsilon game. Epsilon 2-0 up against 3s up. Of course, that's the other game going on in Alpha. We'll just recap Bravo real quick because, of course, elimination game going on, or a qualification game as well, I guess you could say. Elevate versus Mindfreak. We'll take a look at how Group B currently lands. MB 2-0, Mindfreak 1-1, Elevate 1-1 as well. Of course, actually, the MB Project Evil match literally does not matter. It doesn't matter at all. I can tell you the MB is 2-0 up.
They're just getting some repetition.
It matters for pride for Project Evil.
Yeah, have fun going 0-3. The big game, though, is this one. Elevate versus Mindfreak Black. And take a look at this. The Australians come into play early on day 2. We'll see if they're able to close this one out, 237 to 216. It looks good that they're able to do so.
I'll tell you what, I've casted and seen Hopi and Swift Azor. I haven't seen much of Zeppa, but I was talking to Miles about him. He's just a young guy, and apparently he's a god. Like, he's just been destroying. And it's just, we haven't had a chance to see every player out of the APAC region, but apparently he's been a real treat.
Yeah, Hopi and Swift Azor last year played with Chiefs Esports Club down in Australia. You know, that was a top 3 to 4 team throughout the year down there. So it was really kind of dominated by Orbit, which is now kind of made up with some of the guys from Tainted Minds, Mindfreak, obviously, who is still Mindfreak. And then you know, these guys, a combination of these players are on Chiefs Esports Club, and then some new blood coming in. And you see, very talented team.
Mindfreak Black just 2 maps away from qualification. Again, we'll go check back in with Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox, and we were obviously talking about what it means for Optic Gaming here at Champs. I honestly think if you see them win this event, you will see 4 players just emotionally break down on the main stage. There will be tears of joy if they can bring it home for the Green Wall.
I may be crying too. But Echo Fox.
No bias there whatsoever.
Echo Fox, their tournament on the line right now versus Optic Gaming. They got smoked there in the game 1. No, I know. I'm just a guy. I cry during emotional movies. I cry during sports movies. If I see
during video game tournaments.
If I see a team crying on the main stage, I will be crying. I promise you that.
I'll watch. I won't cry.
It's all right that I have a big heart, Matt. Pay attention to the game.
Me pay attention to the game.
Yes. Round 2. Echo Fox now.
Surprised you knew it was round 2.
Yep, I'm ready to go. Locked and loaded.
You're locked in today.
I absolutely am. This is the greatest day of my life.
Champs brings out the best in you, Chris.
There's no better feeling than Champs, man. Well, let's see what Methods and company can get done here. No kills on the board yet. Clean sweep in round 1 for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, now you see they put a lot of pressure Optic through that middle map and over towards Showers, and they're just going to play the rotate back to the site. Formal.
Well,
why? Okay, so your first teammate dies.
Please,
and why would you stand
don't do
in
it. Oh,
okay, at least Echo Fox is even this up. Now it's going to be a 1v1 here as Krim puts some shots in a Ruiz. Ruiz gets away. And fortunate for him, he does have bombs, so they don't drop the bomb there. They don't have to go back and pick it up. He should be able to get it down at A, but when the first guy gets sniped, why would the second guy go to the same exact spot and jump in the same exact position? Echo Fox gives 2 kills away there early, but still fortunate enough to be this a round where they could potentially win.
Ruiz, a player rumored to maybe retire this year, now in a 1v1 against the all-time winningest player, tournament-wise, in Crim 6. Crim started out 3-0. Let's see who's able to take this.
Ruiz just playing the clock here. So Krim spotted him. Going to chase Ruiz, gets the clutch. So in a round where Formal gets 2 snipes, it's Echo Fox able to bounce back. No 1v1 there. Krim versus Ruiz.
It's one that you think the round's over quickly, right? You see the 2 snipes, like, oh, 4v2 advantage is done, but it's traded so quickly. It goes to a 2v2 to a 1v1 almost instantly. And you see Echo Fox able to go ahead and clutch up.
Well, I feel like this is how replays can affect the game, right? We talked about how he was a coach for FaZe for most of the year, still was playing the game competitively and, pugs and 8s and whatnot. So he has seen these other teams play throughout the year. So maybe there's some stuff he kind of remembers from his coaching days at FaZe here against Optic Gaming. It'll be Mosh drawing first blood for Echo Fox. So a good start here for Echo Fox in round number 3.
And I think Echo Fox did their homework. This is usually outside of Showers, inside Showers, where Scump and Karma as a twosome will just completely obliterate their opposition. As I say, they did their homework. They apparently forgot that Scump existed.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
as he flies in and gets 2 kills.
A lot of the time we talk about strategy and positioning and, I have this weapon, they have the other weapon, I'm in a good spot. Now, tacticals. At the end of the day, if the other team just shoots better, there is a very good chance they're going to win.
But like I just said, like everyone knows that's what Scump and Karma do. They go and they dominate Showers. So you just kill Karma. How does Scump just waltz in there,
everybody
shoot replays in the back, and then gun 2 more? I don't see how that happens.
Everybody knew the Lakers would throw the ball to Shaq. They didn't seem to stop that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, when you're just better at something, you just keep hammering it down, and it just forced the other team to stop it. You're basically telling Echo Fox, we are going to go here every round, win a gunfight.
And while there's flat out, there are times where you just don't have the ability to stop it. And to your point, I think that's maybe what we're seeing.
So would you say Optic Gaming is Shaquille O'Neal here, and Echo Fox is Jeff Foster or Greg Ostertag or one of those players?
No, I'd actually... Yes, I was going to say it was Matt Morello, but that's too far. No, it would be another NBA player. Well, advantage now to Echo Fox. Formal and Krim, the only 2 up. Formal's been sniping through the majority of this, had eyes on one for a moment. His teammate, Krim, likely to be engaged soon, just keeps going over the wall running, buying what information he can. They still have to work to defuse, pushes through. 1 inside the lab, 1 at Spiral. As his teammate drops, Formal has to make a play. He has the pistol to work with. 1 more bullet, maybe turns it into a 1v1, but as he drops, is a second round for Echo Fox.
And you see how Echo Fox will win these rounds. Positioning, getting the man advantage, forcing Optic into tough situations. I do not believe they will win this search and destroy by playing aggressive and trying to force those gunfights. They need to play the rounds just like they did. They forced Formal into a tough spot, has 2 players on either side, just a pistol in his hand, not able to pick anything up. Echo Fox gets their 2nd round on the board, and let's see if Optic changes things up, Clint. We talked about how dominant they were getting in over towards Showers over by the A bomb site. See if Echo Fox can stop it.
Well, this time they hit it through mid-map. They have complete mid-map control. I mean, there's no presence from Echo Fox whatsoever, whether it's from a sniper, an NV4 sitting in the top window. This is a free plant and setup from Optic. It's going to be a 4-on-4 retake for Echo Fox. Can Echo Fox get another opening pick? Formal in a tough spot, close range with NV4. He did see one push on through, and he's tagged in the back. Maybe a little bit overzealous there from Formal outside of loading.
Scump, though, trying to locate the players here towards the middle of the map. I believe he spots one up top, so he doesn't need to challenge this right away. As now that he's seen that the player is gone, knows that he's probably gone into Showers or through that mid-map, does not want to go back and challenge it, but look at Replays being so sneaky. Methods just trying to hold these players here in position. Can Replays get the defuse? No, he cannot. It'll be Scump coming in, cleaning him up, securing the round for OG.
I think, I'm just curious, if they don't get that, he was checking regardless of the kill. I mean, he was going at an internal clock. He was ready to make a peek. I think even if that player outside for Echo Fox survives a little bit longer in loading, I think Scump's still picking up that kill.
Yeah, he just couldn't get across because Methods is sitting there with the NV4, so as soon as he's out of the equation, the first thing is to check bomb. And you think he may have been able to slide in past Methods and get the bomb anyway.
I feel like regardless, he's making that play. We saw him do a similar thing on throwback at Stage 2 playoffs. Just slide. It's tough to kill people as they're sliding across, right? Formal, I think, just took a peek over the top. This is what we saw Colchan doing. He actually, okay, so he's doing that with an NV4. I guess he picked one in Cave. I assumed he had a sniper going up over, and a flank coming in perfectly. Karma with 2, Karma with the 3rd inside of Cave. Nice play, 4-2 Optic.
And you can't let them get rolling. Like, once they get rolling, they're hard to stop. Like, there's not much you can do about it. I mean, they have the teamwork. They've been playing together so long. They have the gun skill. They have the strats. The in-game decision-making is there.
Well,
it's just, you can't just give them advantages because they're just going to pummel you.
What stood out to me maybe a little bit more in the past couple of months for Optic is I think you have 4 guys with egos, and not even in a bad sense, just because they're so good and they're so accomplished. And at times when things would go wrong, I don't think they were very good at figuring out what was going wrong, and they're bicker amongst each other, maybe play the blame game a little bit. Just hearing some conversations heading into Stage 2, I don't know, it just seemed more like people were owning up to things and they were actually fixing problems with their playstyles. Got to think that's huge going into the biggest event of the year.
Yeah, Ruiz takes Formal out at the start. And I think it's easy to get on the same page when, I don't want to say hit rock bottom, but when everybody's not even kind of talking about them in the best team in the game discussion, which was just a few months ago, that is something that all 4 guys can definitely rally around. So you see Krim here now left in a 1v4. He will fall. It'll be Echo Fox getting another round, but that is something where if you're on all different pages where you think it's one guy's problem, they think it's your problem, the easiest way to fix that is to just rally behind kind of one idea or one theory, so to speak. And if the idea is that, hey, people think we're washed, they don't think we're good anymore, that's something that everybody can get fired up about, that everybody can agree, like, hey, let's change that sentiment in the community. I think that's what you're seeing Optic Gaming do.
Well, see if they can keep it up through one final weekend here for the CWL 2017 season. Echo Fox, though, does not want to go away in this game, too. It is must-win territory as a series and must-win, I believe, I think we can agree, for this map. Still trailing by a round. 4-man hit towards B. Do they have Showers covered is the question. That's where we see players get through so frequently. But Methods in this sneaky spot, they never spot him. He has a free kill. Oh, almost not free, but he does get it and gets away with his life. Great positioning for Methods there. Because, you think you're Optic Gaming, you're about to hit up through a spiral together. Methods wants nothing to do with it. And look, they're trying to, but they have to keep worrying about their back. Well, now they're able to take him out. Okay, but not before he killed Scump.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is how Echo Fox is going to win these rounds. You get the man advantage, you get bombed down, and then you just trade them out. Look at that. Ruiz, he takes a few shots at Formal, gets his positioning, backs up, doesn't let anything crazy happen. This is how Echo Fox will win these rounds as Formal picks up one, just trying to back up here. Not enough time to get to bomb as Echo Fox will tie this game up here.
Oh no, he's just looking to kill everything right now. I think the only thing he's thinking is I can get 2 more kills. But it will lose the round. Echo Fox tied up at 4-4. This search and destroy going the distance. And I'm curious, you know, we've been talking about, and I know it's just one game, but we're talking about how different the discussion around Optic's S&D gameplay is at this point in the year versus last year. You know, they were so weak, now so strong. Will that hold up Champs Weekend, or will maybe some of those old demons start to resurface?
We will see what Optic Gaming does here on offense, as looks like Bomb heading towards mid-map, but this is kind of their standard push, right? One on this wall run, you get the mid-map control, and you try and push in and get Bomb down. As you see, Karma picks up one. Crim on the outside here is preventing anyone from pushing on through, and you know, even if they do have the Centurion. Maybe you put it down as Crim. It looks like, yep, gonna place the Centurion down inside of the bomb site. Gonna make it very hard for Echo Fox to get in.
Well, Karma pinned like a rat. He could do nothing. Smoke is out. I think Methods just went vertical on one. Great place for Methods. Everybody dropped. Let's get the defuse. Round 5 to Echo Fox, and they're one round away from tying up this series.
So we will see. Echo Fox, they're just one round away here from taking map number 2. And that potentially could change everything in this series, Clint, because obviously wouldn't favor Echo Fox really in a lot of these game modes, but Search and Destroy has been so strong for Optic. You're able to win this. Maybe you come out, steal the uplink, and then you kind of force that game 5 and be a very scary series for Optic Gaming.
Yeah, you know, with Echo Fox, their best game mode being Search and Destroy. I know we keep talking about it with Optic, but that's the strong mode for both of these squads. Echo Fox looking to close it out, and you have a camo to play behind. Scarab available as well on replays. COD Champs winner. First gunfight goes his way, but Scump there to trade it out. 3v3. 60 seconds on the clock. The collapse now coming in from Optic Gaming. Camo pop though. Karma not able to find a kill. 200 off the Trinity rocket. 2 is Methods. Everybody dropping. It's now all on Scump. 1 versus 3. 45 seconds to make a play.
Spots 2. Has to back up. It's not a great way for him to play this here, as you see 2 Scarabs flying at him.
That's fun.
And I mean, just look at the positioning for Echo Fox. A little bit further back, they have, you know, NV4s, K-bars in their hands. Scump with the ERAD needs to pick players off at range, and that'll be it. It'll be Echo Fox taking map number 2, 6-4, tying the series up with Optic Gaming.
Nicely played from Echo Fox, of course. Search and Destroy, one of the strongest game types for that squad. I think when you looked at this series, despite how good Optic Gaming Search has been, it was one of those game modes where you think, well, they're probably not going to win a hard point. Let's be honest. I think Echo Fox's only chance here of winning this is you steal the link and you take the 2 Search and Destroys. And, well, first job done. I guess now you just got to beat him in the uplink, which, again, it's not going to be easy. Not suggesting it is by any means, but that has to be the game plan because I don't think Echo Fox are going to come close in a hard point.
Every upset you'll ever see will start with the Search and Destroy, in my opinion. I don't really see teams that are dominant in respawns going against Optic Gaming thinking, yo, let's win this respawn. No, you're thinking about let's sneak a respawn and win both searches.
We had a lot more, I think, reverse sweeps last year because we had uplink than into CTF. It was a little bit different. I just feel like we haven't had nearly as much this year when you have 2 hard points. So I thought upsets actually last year kind of started with the uplink a lot of times, but
the reverse sweeps,
absolutely with two hard points, and we just had so many reverse sweeps last year.
Right. Of course, here look at Group A. Optic Gaming 2-0, Epsilon 2-1, 3's up 0-3. So no award for guessing that game finished. And yes, it was a 3-0. We'll show you the conclusion to that in just a little bit, but. Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox. This is huge for Echo Fox. Echo Fox need this win if they're going to have any chance, any potential chance, that is, of going through here. Of course, the closing moments to that uplink. Epsilon completely dominating, to be honest, and it was a very simple 3-0. At no point, really, did they look too challenged by 3's up. But, you know, 3's up, at least they got to come to Florida, I guess.
At least they made it to COD Champs.
They were here. They were here. And not a lot of teams can say that. Well, 31 other teams.
Now you get to, right, we got Disneyland.
Did they at least get to take a map from anyone?
Disney World, right? Universal.
I think they took a Search and Destroy.
All right, good. They didn't drop a complete donut.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
So
good.
That's good. Don't do what EG did.
Proofs analysis. That's good. I like you, Proof.
EG still has one more series.
Hopefully they can get a map.
Fingers crossed for EG. Of course, the other games going on, Group B. This one, pretty standard stuff. You can see Project Evil 0-3, Team Envious 3-0. Again, no award there for guessing who won that one. Team Envious with a very, very simple 3-0. They took the Search and Destroy 6-3, the uplink 6-2, and the hardpoint 250 to 130. My Freak Black versus Team Elevate, however. This is lit, all right? The game one hardpoint was very, very close. MindFreak took it. Game two,
whoa.
Guys, watch this. I want you to appreciate this, right? The play that's about to happen right here. 1v3. You ready for this, Sets? He's like, 1-2, don't mind if I do. There's my camo. 1v3, easy. There was 25 seconds left with bomb down before he clutches that 1v3. And when you get a play like that, guess what? You take the map as well. It finishes 6-2 in MindFreak Black's favor. Elevate are very, very close to going home.
Well, I mean, I don't think anyone expected them really to make it into the bracket to begin with.
Did you expect MindFreak Black?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I expected Project Evil, but I mean, how very Elevate-like to now be knocked out by someone who no one believed was going to get there.
Like you were saying earlier, the reverse sweep, man, it's going to start with this uplink, if anything, for the Elevate guys. They need to get that uplink, get that momentum completely on their side, stop that MF Black train that's going right now, and try to get some map wins.
Oh, that game, of course, you can watch exclusively on the Bravo stream. I believe uplink has just begun, so feel free to tune in and watch that one if you want to see potential MindFreak Black squad knock out Elevate.
Let's go replays.
For now, though,
Let's go
wait
replays.
for Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox Game 3 to get underway, we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll see you on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2017 CWL Championship presented by PlayStation 4. It is day 2 of group play, and we are live from our studio suite here in the Amway Center, Florida. We can go down onto that main court behind us, and it's fully being built, and it looks better every single time I turn around, I swear. Of course, we'll be broadcasting from down there, slap bang in the middle of this whole thing for the next 3 days. Of course, we're only up in the studio suite for the end of today. I can't wait to like it. I can't wait to be down there. I miss having you guys on the desk. I never get to work with you guys.
This is bittersweet.
I've bumped elbows or knees with you guys more times than
I know.
I need to ever again.
That is true. You guys are pretty close and snug. Could be worse. There could be 5 of us on the desk. But anyway,
we never tried that.
No, never. Up the game versus Echo Fox, of course. That is the game
on it.
We are following. God, you can fit another 2 people, one on either side. Echo Fox, they take the S&D. That is 1-1. We can take a look at Group A once again, just to reiterate. Right here, Echo Fox need to win this matchup. Epsilon, of course, they just beat 3's Up. 3's Up at 0-3. I mean, they're obviously done and dusted. If Echo Fox can beat Optic Gaming, there will be a 3-way tie at 2-1. We're trying to get confirmation from our league ops on exactly the scenario that needs to happen. in terms of a complete three-way tiebreaker, which has happened in Call of Duty Champs in the past. Obviously, I think
those league guys should be sitting right next to us.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's the moment I was referring to. That I thought I had a spot secure. The #1 team in our seed was playing the team that came out of Open. It was at an Open event. They were playing the team that came out of Open and got 3-0'd. And I remember talking to I was talking to JCap about it. I said, dude, I literally told you all you had to do is win this. He told me he was going to win the series, ends up choking it, and then
actually,
I don't make it into the bracket play.
News. Apparently,
I think
based off map count, there is no chance Echo Fox can qualify.
Okay.
So unlucky there for Echo Fox.
But Echo Fox needs to win here, though.
Nobody go tell them.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't let them know that. But
Chris already knows. Look at that fist bump.
Then I assume Optic Gaming haven't already beaten Epsilon. If both teams are tied at 2-1, Optic Gaming has solidified now the #1 seed.
By process of elimination, Ben, I would assume you're correct.
Thank you very much.
Wait, 3's not the #1?
I appreciate that.
Nope.
This is
3's down.
That's bittersweet for Echo Fox. They could still obviously force a three-way tie, but as you said, official confirmation from our League Ops team here says there is no possible chance for Echo Fox to qualify. If that's wrong, don't blame me. Blame League Ops. That's literally what I was just told. Man. That's heartbreaking.
Replays, at least you made it, man. At least you made it.
That's true. I mean, Replay's a world champion. He has won a world championship in the past, so he obviously knows what it's like to have heartbreak here at the world championship and great success. He does. He has that ring, but I believe the next map about to get underway, map 3, it's Uplink. Echo Fox trying to cause upsets.
Well, for the news we just heard now, we will now be spending the next 30 minutes highlighting Optic Gaming.
I assumed that was what you were going to do anyway.
No, me?
What
are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm Echo Fox's #1 fan.
Surprised you didn't tell us about what just happened to Formal after he died there.
I heard he went and got a glass of water and a stick of gum.
Well, we'll see. Optic Gaming can take the uplink here. I know they've been fantastic in respawns. They dropped the Search and Destroy. Is that the first map they've dropped so far?
Yeah, they 6-0'd yesterday. So it certainly is. Well, let's see what they can do now with the drone. Pushed forward is Replays, trying to maybe get a 1-point toss away, up, and good. So Echo Fox will strike. Maybe... I mean, I guess there's nothing to take from it. I was like, I guess it'd feel kind of cool to beat Optic, and then they go on and win it or something, but no, it still sucks when you're knocked out. I don't think there's anything good you could possibly take from a victory.
Maybe you kind of spoiler for the rest of the weekend, right? I mean, you win here. I know Optic Gaming probably doesn't expect to lose at all through groups. That kind of, puts them in a funk or a mood going into the bracket, and something happens there, and then Echo Fox can maybe take credit for starting it all, but I think if you're Optic Gaming, you just got to close the series down, go back, rest, get ready for the bracket play tomorrow, because it's going to be crazy for them. The fans are going to show up in a big way. It's not going to be an easy ride all the way to the final.
They may have some maybe more favorable matchups than they could have early on. I mean, I don't know whether obviously it depends on how things break down, but their first real tough test could end up being FaZe Clan, like a winner semi, right? I gotta look through it, but
that's not necessarily a good thing either, because we've seen them, kind of have an easy group or have an easy bracket, and then by the time they face that real competition, they're not really, tried and trusted at that point. They're just kind of, because you can, I mean, look, these the other teams are fantastic, some of the best teams in the world that come, but Optic Gaming is one of the best teams of all time, and I think when you're this talented, you can get away with some things and still beat teams pretty bad. And maybe you develop some bad habits and you're able to just do some plays that you're not going to be able to get away with against your Uniteds and your FaZe Clans. And you get used to playing this style of play throughout 2-3 days. Then you just kind of get thrown into a match against one of those top dogs. You may find yourself in trouble.
Yeah, it's like as much as we talk about the success of this team once they win that winner's bracket round 1, and I know the stat has shifted dramatically, but you used to talk about it a few months back. If they win that winner's round 1, they win the finals almost always. Like, it was absurd. It was like 90% of the time, or even more than that. I know that may have shifted over the past couple tournaments, but still, it was pretty stunning how much they went off. But for some reason, I have this feeling that if they're going to win it, it's going to be through a loser's run. Not from round 1, but I don't think it's going to be just a clean dance all the way through round 1, round 2, round 3, finals, bam.
I think it's a clean dance or
nothing.
Or it kind of gets ugly. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't, with the loser bracket runs we've seen them have at Champs before, and just kind of it ultimately being their demise, like getting knocked into losers early, I don't know if they'll be able, if they lose a game, the pressure and the amount of, fan scrutiny, player scrutiny that'll come out of that, like, will just be a whirlwind for them to deal with.
That's true. Pressure so high for them. So right now it's looking to close out this series. Crim6, I believe, just got tossed away. Yes, he knocks in his second 1-point toss. As Formal drops, the base cleared out for Echo Fox. 60 seconds left here in the first half. Problem for them when they're coming off a spawn and giving up this much map position. You already have Scump in your top window. Nice play, though, by Mosh, and maybe some fortunate timing to take him out. Method's also working to clear bike path, but for him, Formal is set up there and takes out 2. Formal leading all Slayers right now at 14-8. I know we've said that quite a few times this weekend.
So we'll see Crim pick up replays as he's up in the top window. As you know, the drone isn't even really in play right now. I mean, both teams just trying to push through and slay out. Nobody's really even made a play for the objective here as Scump able to get 1. Formal now lines up 1 inside a barn as Optic Gaming trying to put some more points on the board here towards the end.
It's interesting talking about, you know, what Formal does for this team, because there are definitely people that will say, oh, he's statting, oh, he stands behind his teammates, and blah, blah, blah. It's funny because that is literally what he's supposed to do. And Scump, I was talking to him last night, he's like, as long as he keeps flying like that, let us fly in front, sit back and clean up everything, we're going to win. Because there were times where they took criticism, or well, Formal specifically, where, you know, Scump, Karma, Crim would get pissed because he played a little bit over-aggressive in a spot where he should have literally just sat back. And one of the best when he just needs to line up players with that NB4 as they're, you know, fighting his teammates. Yeah, I mean, I think about the uplink yesterday. It seemed to many like I heard the comment like, oh, it looked like he was invisible. No one was shooting back at him. That's because they were shooting at his teammates.
His
and
job,
he sits there and mops everybody.
He should not worry about anything but killing.
Yeah.
The responsibilities of the objective, of the rotational kills,
anything
should fall on everybody else.
And being patient and passive, though. Like I feel like you can be a little too over-aggressive with the NV4, and that can cost you, especially at hardpoint in this game. But it seems things are clicking for Optic Gaming. It is a dunk in the opening 25 seconds here of the second half. And if you're just joining us, we are tied at 1 apiece. Echo Fox, a strong search and destroy team, was able to take that against Optic in what many considered to be their best mode. Unfortunately for Echo Fox, it was deemed by League Ops heading into this map that due to the Epsilon win, Echo Fox have been eliminated. So right now just playing for pride, passion, and the love of the game.
Well, and these guys most likely don't know that. They don't know the score of the Epsilon series, or maybe they do. Maybe they saw Epsilon in the player room.
I saw replays with his phone in his hand. I mean, I'm pretty sure Twitter would let you know, but maybe you could be right.
But regardless, I still think you want to come in here, you want to put up a good fight against Optic Gaming, you want to potentially beat them, and Crim trying to use overdrive, Ruiz going to cut him down before he can make a play, trying to get it in, so there'll still be a 1-point game in favor of Optic Gaming here. It'll be Echo Fox with drone control, trying to move this up the map.
Method's already pushed out bike path. Scump shoulder peeking him. That is not fun to deal with. Karma kills himself with a grenade. But as he dies, 3 drop. That would have that's what hell will play when you're the only player alive for Echo Fox. You're trailing by 1. The rest of your team drops. I mean, that's, you got to think, a bit of a miscommunication from Optic Gaming, and knowing there's 1 remaining. Well, they have to know he's got a drone in his hand. Like, I don't know how you let that happen. Too much focus maybe towards one side of the map. And Echo Fox able to tie it up there with 1 man alive. 3 down yet again, though. This could be points. Now you have Scump by himself with everybody coming off a spawn. He's going to try and do the same. It's away, but it is picked off. Interception there from Ruiz. And that'll keep it tied up with under 3 to play.
And it does not look like you're going to have camo or anything, but look at this. They're actually trying to run the drone out of the base, and Crib gets inside of Echo Fox's base, kills Ruiz, and dunks it home. You cannot let that happen if you're Echo Fox. You got to just reset the drone or start moving it further up the map. You can't kind of sit with it in your own base and not have anyone there for support.
I don't know if they just didn't realize that Scump was kind of a lone man there, and due to the stagger of it, the other 3 were just a little bit behind and going to be collapsing. That was odd, right?
That was really weird.
Get it off the map, or maybe rotate it out quickly. You can't just play with it. I mean, that ends up leading to 4 straight points for Optic Gaming.
It's the game.
Those are the kind of mistakes that cannot happen at this level.
It's the game.
Yeah.
I mean, when you allow Optic Gaming to capitalize on your mistakes like that, I mean, now look at what it's done. It's given Optic Gaming so much map control. It's resulted in another point. Now you got Scump in your base. killing you with the E-Rad.
Here we go again, though. It's Echo Fox
Ruiz,
just
though,
splitting
okay.
through. Like, all their scores are when 4 players are alive from Optic.
Well, and they're just focusing on slaying. I mean, Ruiz just walks to the mid-map, grabs his drone, and then just runs it on through.
To be fair, and I should have brought this up before we entered the map, but this is by a wide margin Optic Gaming's worst uplink. They are so strong at Frost and Precinct. Kind of 50-50 when it comes to throwback. And now it's a 6-8 with 90 seconds left. You've given up 3 points now to Optic Gaming that you've given up 4 points to Optic Gaming you shouldn't have. Optic Gaming in return is giving you 3 they shouldn't have. 4th, right there, upload goes in, 8-7. We got ourselves a ball game, and what do you have payload-wise? Methods, just a kill away, it looks like. Nothing going to be coming up for Optic Gaming in the remaining moments here.
Well,
Can Optic hold on?
Let's jump on with Methods. I feel like he is the big player here.
Well, he
gets eliminated with the rest of his team.
This is where the game should end. 50 seconds left. They're spawning blue. Karma and Krim are both here. This should be a dunk and a dagger.
Just when you think the other team has a chance, Optic Gaming goes on a few sprees here as you see Krim on a 3 streak, Formal on a 1 streak, make it a 2, and I believe you had Karma on a streak as well. And look, now they put it in with 30 seconds left with Optic Gaming getting some control of mid-map. We'll see. Ruiz trying to make it back. Formal's here with the NV4. Yeah, Karma looking over him. They don't need to touch the drone at all. This should be Optic Gaming's map to take.
Yep, so got Formal on the top window. Now Scump's come off spawn and he's back to mid-map. This one is over. You're not going to be able to get 2 scores in the next 12 seconds, so Game 3 will go to Optic Gaming. They'll take a 2-1 advantage in this series. Echo Fox, though, again, playing for pride, they play them very strong.
Well, Optic Gaming, 2-1 up now after a convincing uplink win. Echo Fox, of course, cannot qualify for bracket play. We got news of that before that uplink, and I actually quickly ran over and asked exactly why that is. It just comes down to map count. Optic Gaming's map count would be 4 and 3. Echo Fox's would be 3 and 4, and Apton's would be 3 and 3 in terms of head-to-head. So they simply do not have enough maps. If they did 3-0 Optic Gaming, they would have potentially forced that kind of 3-way tie where everything is even. But
well, it's easier to figure out.
So asking for the impossible.
The double round robin now map count we're doing back in the stages.
Right.
That's much more simple. I like that.
Yeah, I try to make it simple for you guys. Of course, for Optic Gaming, 2-0 at the top, Epsilon 2-1, Echo Fox 1-1, and 3's up 0-3, and I'm around about 99.9% sure Optic Gaming have secured number 1 seed from Group A, Epsilon taking second due to head-to-head. Of course, there is still action going on elsewhere in Group B. There is still a game, a qualification game, a highly...
I don't know that I call it action right now.
Well, there was Game 3 uplink. Which is
Game 3 happened,
which was action. Game 3, yeah, that happened. Here's a look at Group B. Team Envious, of course, they've guaranteed number 1 seed. Mindfreak Black 1-1, Team Elevate 1-1, Project Evil 0-3. But we'll take a look at exactly what happened in that Game 3. It did, I believe, go in favor of Elevate. So you obviously had that little discussion earlier on about Uplink being that swing game. Oh, Elevate trying to make the reverse sweep happen.
And they do this in a big way, 11-2. I'm sorry, I may not seem enthused right now, but you will see why shortly.
I got to catch a little bit of this game. The only thing that was really stuck out to me was Watson's 7 kill streak. Man.
Yeah,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
But
Watson, 35 and 20.
Yeah,
wow.
Watson with a big game there for Elevate.
Well, that's going to be needed for Elevate. They're going to have any chance of success. To be honest, they need to try and make that reverse sweep happen. And I mean, you have to start one map at a time, I guess. Hardpoint is going to be a little tough. But in terms of Optic Gaming versus Echo Fox, as it stands, it's a little unfortunate, Clint, for Echo Fox. It's a weird situation. Do you think the players know?
I think so, yeah. It was one mannerism that I caught where Replays was looking at his phone and then he just kind of like dropped his hand down where I was like, oh, he just learned. Yeah, I could be completely wrong, but just the way he sort of acted, his body language, I thought that was it.
I had a question. I don't know if you guys talked about it, but when was the last time Optic has lost a series in
a series?
In pool play.
Third
in pool play.
7 matches.
It's been like I think it's 34 series in a row that they've won,
isn't it?
No, they lost their Enigma 6 in Vegas.
So that's it. I think since Vegas.
But was that pool play or was that actual
pool? They're undefeated since Vegas.
Yeah, they're undefeated since Vegas in pool play.
That is
silly.
Well,
that is unreal. As a player, that's unreal.
As we wait, of course, for action to continue, Elevate versus MyFreak Game 4, I believe, has not begun yet. Neither has Game 4 of Update Gaming versus Echo Fox. So we're going to do a quick commercial break. When we return, more games.
been a dark horse so far. Didn't have a great first day, but coming in, causing an upset in our first round matchup. Straight ripping though, Fnatic. I think that may be the highlight of my day. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Infused and United, that is going to be a match we'll be seeing on Station 1 in just a little bit, but we do have one game that is currently underway, and this, of course, is going to be our Anaheim champions. It's Luminosity. They got shocked yesterday by Rise Nation, and here's a look at how they fared against Shane's Vitality team. Guys, another really close hard point. What is going on with LG?
Really close, and the fact that Whalers is 9-20 as well, it really just highlights that. For me, the one thing it highlights is LG. I know they're winning, but they're struggling in a sense that this should be just dominance. If I match these two up, I'm thinking 250 to 100. I'm thinking, Searches maybe 6-2. But, Vitality, they're pushing them here. And honestly, I don't really know what the problem is, because you can see everyone on LG, they're all positive. They're just not slaying us what we maybe saw in Stage 2.
And we are going to jump in live here. This is game number 2. It's all tied up 1-1, but I do want to point out, in that first game, it was within 33 points, and Whalers had just 9 kills. If he goes over double digits, you got Vitality going toe-to-toe with LG in a respawn.
I'm just not really sure if LG is just on some sort of cruise control right now throughout the groups, or really what's going on, but this should be a match for them, that this should be a kind of a walkthrough for them. But regardless, you have to give some props to Vitality. Shane somehow makes it to all these champs tournaments and makes some noise, so props to him.
It needs to be stressed, too, that this is not a 2-0 LG team in this group. They're 1-1 right now. They're 1-1 right now. So they're not coasting on through. This isn't a match where they're sitting here going, all right, we've already qualified, let's just play and mess around. No, they have to fight for their tournament life still to wind up making it into day 3.
And as you guys may have saw at the bottom of your screen, Lethal Gaming has just taken game number 2 from Mindfreak. So that Infused United group getting even more interesting. If Mindfreak somehow ends up 1-2 in their pool, wow, we could have a whole different story on our hands. That, of course, is going down on Charlie if you want to check it out, but we will continue on with Luminosity Vitality here. Vitality, they looked like they could cause problems earlier in the tournament, currently at 0-2. If you get a win here against LG somehow, they're in the running. They could possibly be involved in a 3-way tie with the heads-up advantage over LG.
I never know what to think at these points of the day, because there's so much coordination going on, league ops getting involved, rulings being decided, things going. Man, I just want to see the bracket. Just show me a full bracket.
Same. I just want to know
My
the
heart is
matchups.
I had so many heartstrings being pulled. I don't know what to believe. Does Shane even have a chance to make it in there? They just try to beat LG just to beat them.
I just think as well for the players, it's kind of confusing for us and we want to see it, but for a player's point of view, the stress that you're kind of going up against, these have done a lot of prep on each team, who they're playing, and you got to have that confidence of, we can beat anyone at any time, but who doesn't like a nice easy bracket? Shane, once again,
I think that right there kind of sums up what the hell's going on with LG.
You have 3 players looking forward for LG.
Shane just walked down middle map with a 4-stack of LG near sidewalk, and nobody was turned to watch it? Okay, this is a free round now for Vitality.
So, Teep, talk me through, because you've been at Stage 1. You were watching them at Anaheim. LG goes to back-to-back championship matches, winning one of them. How do you fall this far? What is going wrong?
Well, I think the glimpses of weakness that we saw early in Infinite Warfare for these guys when this roster formed, when they did end up grabbing Saints, is the search and destroy was inconsistent. And that's when they really had issues. We always knew that this team had the talent to be, a top contender or a grand finalist over and over again. But for whatever reason, it seems like at random times there's a certain game type, specifically search and destroy, that slips for them. They obviously have the slaying power to keep up in all the respawns, but it seems like I don't know if it's communication in search and destroy, if the strategies are just not being agreed upon with all 4 players, but it's situations like that where how does a player just slip in, especially on a map like Throwback? It's like these weird inconsistencies for such a solid team overall that just shouldn't be happening at this level.
Momo, for Vitality, we saw, of course, it was Weeman and Brain dropping the big numbers in the first hard point. Here in game number 2, we have Weeman currently sitting at 5-2. He's got his payload available. But what can you tell us about this European team? Are they a threat to LG in this matchup?
I don't think they're someone who can particularly go really, really far in the tournament, but they're that kind of team that can always maybe sneak a map off someone like Luminosity, maybe an S&D. When you talk respawns, I kind of said it on the first map, I expect 250 to 100s. From a team like Luminosity, the caliber that they are, I don't see a team like Vitality kind of pushing that. But I would say that for, 60-70% of the competition here, for these guys. But Vitality, they're a last chance qualifying team from Europe. Wow, that was close.
Slack
What a clutch.
just got there. You see Shane.
Reaction.
Hands and head, or head and hands, rather. That's a tough way to finish the round.
Wow. Did he FTL to there?
Pretty sure he just did.
That's so smart. Look at Slack. I don't even realize if he knows how close that truly was. LG snaked that round right there. But, Team, I was just thinking of this, too, is thinking back to Call of Duty maybe in the earlier days of competitive. This team of 4, while they are so talented, it worries me that, they're so good at slaying, but imagine if they had to play at maybe a slower pace, had to make more decisions, had to think a little bit more about, positioning over anything, playing for anchors. I feel like this team would struggle so much, and maybe how some of the older Call of Duties would have played as a unit of 4.
It's kind of a good point. Who's going to be that guy that really calms them down? And there's times, and I've said it a lot throughout this year, yes, the outslaying team, the team KD is going to be extremely important, but what happens when you don't? Who's making those heads-up play? What happens when one of your players is having a bad game? Yeah. It's inevitable at this point, especially at the top level. All these players are going to have those really solid games and sometimes have those poor games. So I feel like when it comes to those situations where the slaying is even, I don't know if they really have the mindset to make those heads-up plays and make the right play. Sometimes,
when they don't have everything going in their way in regards to slaying and map positioning,
right?
It's like
you can say the same thing about Optic at times too.
Oh, absolutely.
They make hardpoint challenges where you're like, bro, what are you doing there? Like you just got to make the better play when you're not out slaying by 30.
Yeah. Like I just plan on being able to kill 3 of them.
Yeah,
and take over the hill.
Right.
For some reason, it didn't work out.
When we remember back to AW, that's what we talked about when that FaZe team was able to challenge them. It was like finally there was a team that would beat or outslay Optic overall, and because of that, Optic's entire game plan of let's just 4-man flood the hardpoint was null and void, and because of that, they struggled against FaZe in a lot of their matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Slacked on your screen. Luminosity currently in a 3-on-3. Down goes Shane. And LG trying to come back in this game number 2. They did take the hard point. It wasn't pretty. Weak performance from Whalers, holding down Vitality. This is a big search.
Nice job by Slack.
Yeah, Whalers winning a 1 versus 3 there. Very, very difficult. But again, you look at the score now, and Vitality still in the lead in this search and destroy. And I don't know. Teep kind of said at the very start it is LG in cruise control, and yeah, we all expect them to be in the bracket itself, and I'm sure they will be. But it's just like, where is that luminosity that we saw, at Anaheim at stage 2, and they're super fired up. I don't know if they're almost kind of maybe still dwelling a little bit on that loss from Rise.
Teep, is there a different feeling when you're playing in group stages than when you're in the bracket?
Yes, 1,000%. A lot of the time, well, it's kind of different now, though, because I feel like in earlier champs, a lot of the matches were a walk in the park, to say the least. So the intensity level is not quite the same. Maybe these players are used to that similar sort of style, but now with the qualification procedures we have, especially this year, those third and fourth seeds in the groups, they're quite good teams, right? You can't just walk through. You can't just show up and not really, you have to warm up. You have to be on that right sort of mindset. So I don't know if it's like individual players not, being in the moment, if that makes sense, having that intensity. But for whatever reason, they need to find that intensity because they need to make it to bracket first.
This game's starting to swing, though. Slack is now 12-4. Ooh. The kills that Vitality were getting earlier on, no longer going their way.
All right, fellas. Well, we will leave this game at 4-4. We'll keep you updated, but we have E United and Infuse starting right now. Let's jump into the hard point. And, Jack, I'm going to let you and TP take this one away. Bring us some commentary.
Let's get into it. E United versus Infused. Teep, I was just walking up here with Infused. They were honestly hanging out, feeling pretty good, excited for this matchup, but I think it's safe to say E United, the heavy favorites here, Infused playing for their tournament life still.
Yeah, it's a very interesting scenario in this group. Mindfreak struggling a bit versus Lethal Gaming, so depending on how that matchup goes, Infused might be able to force some sort of tie scenario if they can end up getting a win, but let's be real. It's E United. Clay is here with a vengeance. This team has been championship caliber throughout the whole year.
Yep.
Clayster, who's been playing better than ever the past month throughout Stage 2, lighting up the scoreboard, obviously having a hell of a lead here. And again, going to this bridge hardpoint, teams are just so much better compared to a few months ago at it.
Yep, and most certainly ours. Now you can see Infused trying to fight back in for whatever time they can get. More power to them. Go ahead. Try to fight for that. But again, look at those spawns. With only 5 seconds left on bridge, they're still spawning a top hanger. E United will end this first hardpoint at a score of 39-7. They're fully set up, and already look at the streak from Silly. He's 2 kills off of Trinity Rocket.
Just beautiful rotation and just clinical hardpoint gameplay from E United there. You saw them back up with multiple players into this lab sort of area, and now 2 players just sitting pretty. They have a couple of gunfights in front of them at the back alley. Arcides is able to trade out, and Silly making a great play there. Tries to get away. He is eliminated finally, so some good hardpoint time. The scrap, most of this should be going in Infuse's favor.
Pretty clean little break right there for Infuse. You can't ask for much more from the team as they were fully spawning on out and still were able to push on through within 15 seconds. Thankfully for United fans, your team's already soaring back in for Cini, who's been really lights out as of late. Gets 3 right there with 2 different weapons.
Through a doorway.
Alex gets taught a lesson right there. As Nolson starting this game 0-5, E United break back in, they'll get the scrap time, and already they're setting up for the new hill.
And that just, I guess that's just a separation of a good team from a lesser team. How does Brasini go through a bottom doorway, one of the smallest chokes in the game in general of any of the maps, and just get a 3-piece right there? Just not very coordinated plays. Silly now at the back, trying to stay alive and get those spawns, but he was actually alone. But that's a situation where Infuse should have tied that game up without even thinking about it, and now they're down 40.
I think that the thing that you can begin to tell with the United TP, and correct me if I'm wrong, is Clayster's just brought the correct mindset of what they need to do to win to this team, right? Whether it's pushing for those back rocks, calling out what the most important area is in the map that they need to take control of. Because you can just tell from how Pristini's playing, it seems like now with his submachine gun, the reason he's finding so much more success is because he's always in the right physical position to be successful.
And I feel like sometimes players underestimate how important that vocal leadership is, and it needs to be from multiple players. And I think Clay brings that out more from the Twins, for example. I think they're talking a lot more. You can see them just break that spawn once again, and it's just these huge chunks of scrap time that Infuse should not be giving up whatsoever. United, I'm not a huge fan or an advocate of them fighting scraps over and over again, but hell, if you're getting 25 seconds of it every single time, it gives you that nice little comfy lead, that cushion going into the next hard point. It's just beautiful play, really.
Absolutely. And you're seeing it right here as Silly's going to stay alive, wait for some sort of pinch to develop. Unfortunately, Arcides now dead. They've got a 3v2, and he gets the call out. He's weak. And this is something that I love to bring up to TP, is from watching these guys from when they were formed in Scrims Day 1, trust was immediately there for this team, especially with the trio that had already played together. But Clayster knew if they were going to be successful, he had to be able to rely on this team.
Oh, 100%. And I feel like Silly has really elevated his gameplay to the next level in the last couple events. He's had a very, very consistent year. Sort of the understudy on this team, if you want to, give that title to someone. And I feel like these guys just they do everything just methodically correct. It's a lot of fun to watch. There is those times where you have one or two players slacking behind against the likes of maybe LG or Optic, you know, the heavy juggernaut slaying teams. But when it comes to making mistakes, yeah, they get outgunned sometimes, but the mental mistakes, you don't see much of them at all. They're always playing their life. They're always backing up, trying to buy that extra second or two for each other, especially in these, you know, hard point scenarios where they're down in numbers. Really just great at grouping up.
Well, right now, after the first rotation, we've been talking a lot about E United. They're up by about 45 seconds. Nolson getting involved. He started this game 0-5, now 7-10 overall. Slowly but surely starting to pick up some kills. You can see Alex and crew trying to keep bodies in this hard point, but it's down to a one-on-one here. He's got to stay alive as his teammates come back off spawn, but that grenade from Persini lands right in his face.
Yeah, this game's just slowly getting chipped out of Infused's favor, to be honest. Every single hard point, it seems like E United gets a decent 10, 20, 30-point chunk of scrap every single time.
Yep.
You'll see after this next wave of gunfights, they're going to back up to this lab side again as they focus on this rotation over towards that turbine side. They are losing some of these gunfights, so the spawn out might actually be going down. Plays the last one alive. So that's actually a good push, a sort of saving grace for Infused here on the rotation. They should have the large majority, but we said that on the last rotation too. They had that turbine, you know, controlled for the, you know, good 20, 30 seconds, and they instantly got broke from the bottom.
Well, here comes Silly with his FTL jump. You expect him to really be the bait here for E United on the retake. Here it goes, and he's gunned immediately. Before he can even charge on in, Nolson cuts him down. That'll put E United at a tough disadvantage in numbers. Can our cities win the trade? Yes, why are you leaving cover? Why is Alex leaving cover? Thankfully, the close spawn was there, but
shouldn't even be that close.
Yeah, he's got a spot where only his head can be seen, and he decides to give that up to try to challenge a gunfight versus our cities of all people.
Finally, seems like a hold coming in. Nolson with a huge two-piece with this ERAD pushing up towards this observation deck right now. Zerg's pushed up very, very far towards the middle of the map, which I absolutely love to see. Taking gunfights, you're still going to retain those spawns. E United just going to focus on this rotation as Infuse is going to basically tie this game, maybe take the lead by just a second or so, and see how they focus on this rotation. These gunfights at the back are going to be everything here towards this hangar.
Wow. It tells you a lot about how confident Infused were at holding the rest of this time when they were that far pushed up already while getting the rest of the scrap time. It's 142 to 142. We've been giving a ton of props to United, but Infused are hanging with them right now. They know how important this series is for their tournament hopes. Even while being outslayed, the objective is king for this squad. As Nile, already 90 seconds in the hard point, it's another push on through. A chance to hold this now as United look to try to stay alive.
Love how United played that, though. They just grouped up towards that back door, make sure those spawns are locked down first, then, you know, go to clean control. Clean up the last couple of players at bottom hangar here and at the top side towards the hill. So Persini just hanging out, doing some monkey action on top of this door, just waiting for some gunfights to go down so he can just clean up, but doesn't look like he's going to have to do too much. Last player alive there actually does pick up that kill, but cleaned up regardless. United with a full hold on hangar. Very impressive and very easy looking, really.
Yeah, Silly hasn't slowed down so far this game. He's still 16-9. That hill at the start of it was 142 to 142. Now about 190 to 145 as United take nearly a full 60. Oh, gosh,
nice
Silly. The FTL jump two-piece. I told you he wasn't quieting down. And because of that two-piece, he's now forced a spawns out towards hangar for Infused. They've got full peace of mind on this hard point. E United, they quieted down for a bit in the middle, but now they look to be retaking control.
Nice rotation out of the hill from Persini. Doesn't land any shots in that gunfight, though. Some trades just going down back and forth. Pretty much a normal drill hill going down right now. Infused trying to do their best to win some of those gunfights, but the cluster from Silly takes that player on the opposite side of the drill. Now they're sitting pretty. Some pressure going on from Persini, one of the best players at aggressing. Does get the two-piece with the ERAD. Not a lot of players can do that, Jack.
No, and I think this is another example, too, of the thing that separates the good teams from the great teams is the grenades on a map like Scorch Hardpoint. You saw the fantastic cluster from Silly. Not having to expose yourself and push past that drill makes all the difference on a hard point like this, to be able to get that time together, play your teammates with the ARs watching over, utilizing those clusters to your advantage. At this point, I'm surprised teams still even run flechettes. I am. On a map like this.
I think I agree with you. It just buys you so much time. Locks a player down. It can do immense amounts of damage if they don't get out of the range of that cluster grenade. Huge fan of them on Scorch in general. Infused doing a great job of keeping this game pretty competitive, to be honest, for how much they are being outslayed. Zerg having a pretty quality game overall. Lots of interactions for his team. +1 at this point. Doing a lot of work with this K-Bar. in the middle of this hill right now. Only about a 30-point game, or I guess 40 points now at this point. United did a good job on the first rotation, and Fuse got the better of Turbine the second time around, so we'll see how this one plays out.
Yeah, right now you got Silly back in the hard point, and he's pre-aiming the perfect door. Good luck getting on through there. Thankfully, the grenade will have to make him fall on back. United cannot win off this hill, and Fuse know that, but they have to prepare for these new spawns. Silly now 22 and 13. You see the tacticals coming into play. It does not matter. Clusters again this time for Pristini, wiping the player out from cover. United are in control. They've got active camo as well. This game should be done right here.
And that's the 2 versus 4 in the middle of the hill. Luckily, a flechette from Zerg takes out Pristini, so they get the first blood in this push scenario. Clayster trying to cause some issues, and a nice Scarab coming out from that back alley. Now they can just flood towards the hill. There is a close spawn up towards that top drill side, so there's a chance, but no time enough. United close it out 250 to 181. Pretty comfortable, and Fuse doing a good job.
You saw the final push with camo. It wasn't enough. GG 1-0 series lead now for the side of United.
I think everyone kind of expected that one, but props to Infused. At times it was within 10 points, 15 points. They were staying competitive throughout that first hard point. We got a lot of games going on right now, guys. 4 matches all happening simultaneously, and of course, this is a matchup from Group C. United was the clear favorite. When you looked at the other teams in the pool, we really had no idea how it was going to shake out. Here's a look at the group in general. Of course, Mind Freak from Australia, they came in with the second highest seed. Then you had Infused coming over from the LCQ from Europe, and Lethal Gaming locking in their spot just a week ago back in the North American LCQ. Here's a look back, though, at the battle between Mind Freak and Lethal Gaming. Remember, Lethal Gaming are 0-2 in match count coming in, but they're leading the series 2-0 after a very close first half. It was all Mind Freak in the second half, Phil.
Yeah, Mind Freak started to turn up. I mean, we've seen Mind Freak, through Stage 1, Stage 2 now, have those kind of really strong games, those one where they can put a lot of numbers on the board. And Shocks was having another one of those games here, 32 and 21, Dens 35 and 17.
Jesus.
That feels, for me, the old Dens. Since he joined the squad, I've not seen him kind of light up and just destroy a team. Now he seems to be doing it.
That should be normal for these two players and how really talented they are, in my opinion. Going back to Stage 1, for example, Shocks was one of the MVPs for the groups there, and then sort of had a drop off when this roster change went down. Den's widely regarded as the best Australian player. Haven't really had that great performance either, so it's cool to see it finally here. They are fighting for their lives here in the groups here at Champs, but where has this been for so long now?
I think the difference is they're not playing a CWL team that we saw in the Global Pro League, right? Not top 16 team. You get a whole different Dens. He is shining right now in this series. But let's take you over to Group D. Of course, that was Group C matches. We will keep up with the action there. Over in Group D, this is where the first big upset happened. Rise Nation over LG last night. Now they're sitting at 2-0. They're playing their last match against Supremacy. For a moment in their retaliation hardpoint, Rise, they were up 200 to just 25 from Supremacy. So Supremacy got over 100. They got over 125, but at the end, it was Rise walking away with that first game win. But over on Station 4, we left it at 4-4. Here's a look at the final round. Vitality were able to close it out. Momo, walk me through this one, how'd they get it done?
Yeah, just to kind of close this one out, we cut away at 4-4, and Slack was really heating up. I thought this is where maybe Luminosity end it. However, Slack was the only one kind of just only heating up here. 14 kills to his name, the rest just lacking a little bit behind, and we can see in the penultimate round here, Whaler's just kind of biding his time, the bomb being down at A, and just kind of picking Luminosity apart. There was very little they could do, but again, just didn't seem like the Luminosity that we love and know. They're 1-on-1, they went into the uplink.
Vitality, their hopes aren't gone yet, but they need to win these next 2 games. We'll see if they can get it done. Let's take it back, though, to station number 1. We got E United loading up in the search and destroy. TP, Jack, take it away once again as we get ready for our first round.
Here we go. Joining in a little bit into round number 1 already. Alex continuing his rough performance so far in this series, getting first blooded to kick things off. E United with a quick bomb plant inside A, as now they'll look to defend this site.
Completely taking advantage of this map control here. Zerg now caught out towards this middle of the map, taking shots in, almost takes out Silly in that right little hallway there. He has him pinned, but might not be able to get an angle just at the last second. So much damage being taken. Prashini gets out, though. Helps out his teammate, make sure he gets that trade. And Olsen tries to get that second gunfight there into Showers, but NV4, not the weapon you want.
It looked like that whole time they were like, all right, Pristini, you going to kill him middle map? We're holding our 2 lanes here inside Showers. You going to kill him? You going to kill him? Pristini, I think, was a little bit scared to challenge. Didn't want to get caught in an awkward gunfight. But there, finally, Silly shuts the door. E United take round number 1. And again, what I like about this team is we've talked about other squads, right? You know, yeah, they're 2-0. Maybe are they playing with the full intensity today? I can promise you something. United, they're playing like they are in a loser's bracket match about to be eliminated from this tournament. They're not at all. They're already, I believe, basically on the way through as long as they take the series.
Most definitely. But I love how they play Breakout overall, too. I feel like teams are just quite good at one bomb site. I feel like United is different in that regard, where they can go to either one and have very consistent results at both. It's very impressive to watch them on defense. Pristini does catch a free player there, and I'm not sure if it was just timing or what. Zerg just didn't see any of those players.
So what wound up happening was Zerg was peeking his top window and would periodically check towards Cave. The second Pristini was about to show himself in Cave, the player that was across the map with the sniper, I believe it was Clayster, peeked on out, drew his attention away, thus forcing him out of position, giving Pristini a great timing to flank right through those windows. Brilliant setup from United there as they take the round.
Yeah, caught that player, which was, I think, Zerg on that middle truck there. A little bit angry if I'm Zerg in that sort of scenario, not expecting any sort of player to be passed towards that cave side. Pristini getting a free kill. And United just makes the game look so darn easy at times. It's very impressive. Yes, not playing I guess a top competition team in Infused in this one, but still making it look easy like you said before.
Yeah, you might not be seeing the loud Clayster right now, but I can promise you it will show up once the bracket starts. As right now they're just in cruise control, trying some things out, making sure their base strategies are there. Zerg does spot them all. They have to fall on back. Does Pristini pick up the kill? No! One bullet now with Zerg as he gets out with his life.
I like how United really tried to take that player out as fast as possible. But another retake scenario has not been going well for Infused, at least in the early couple of rounds in this one. Might be able to catch one of these players. Pristini gets out just in the nick of time there as multiple players are flooding up towards that spiral side. United give it up. And they're sort of flooding towards this bomb site right here. They are on it right now. I think that call-out is going to be made. Nile is taken out. What a weird round going on right now.
Yeah, Alex gets two. Silly's now there. They're still spotting the bomb. He knows both are close. He's giving up his position.
Oh, wow.
Clayster exposes himself quite far right there when he didn't necessarily need to. It looked like some panic came in, especially TP, since they had already seen them attempt to defuse this bomb once.
And that's something we've seen United mess up a bit before, where they do give that bomb site side, and I think I like the play a lot there from Infused, just to hop the bomb, make multiple players, because you know that frantic call-out comes out, guys on bomb, guys on bomb.
Yep.
So you peek with multiple people at one time. That opens up gunfights for the rest of the players on Infused towards that med bay. A great play from them and a nice retake. I didn't expect it to happen.
You know, the toughest part of those retakes is getting through the spiral stairs.
Right.
And once you do that, your odds of winning that round are definitely more favorable, or at least reasonable, as Nolson gets first blood here. Finally, Infused will take command of the map and look to plant this bomb very early on in the round.
Nice first blood again. We'll see if United can try and get a retake, but they're on top of this already. The flank coming in from United. Clayster gets picked off very, very fast. And a little 2v2 scenario here at the cave. The trade going down. Silly now stuck in the 1 versus 3. Multiple players just hopping around like rabbits there at this point. Can't get shots on any of them. Can he pick up a kill? Nope. The bait and switch too strong. Infused answer back with 2 rounds of their own.
Got to give them props. No hesitation. They get that first blood. They immediately know what their goal is. Get a quick plant. Alex has our flank. They trust him to get the kill. And Nile cleans up the final one there in your kill cam. Crazy to look at the right side of my screen. So many matches going on.
Jack, we got to break out of this one. I know it's a close search and destroy, but look how close this battle is between Lethal Gaming and Mindfreak. Remember, Mindfreak, you win here, you're basically through to the bracket. Lethal Gaming, they thought they were out. They were 0-2 coming into this match. Now they're on match point. We are within 20 points. And guys, you want to continue to keep casting this one, because catch me up, Jack. What are we seeing here from this Lethal Gaming squad? How are they keeping it so close?
Well, right now they're keeping even in the slang with the people that they just got outslayed by in 30, and Uplink Dens quieted down. You see Shocks now even as well, and Buzzo, well, he's never been good at retaliation. Hard point if I'm just being blunt with you. Lethal now take the lead 195 to 192, and they're still fully set up for the next 30 seconds.
Mindfreak not setting up well for this break at all. They are just flooding towards this bus side and expect Juju to pick up a couple of free easy kills at this point. Very close to the camo as well. Multiple players flying in, but wow, Buzzo picks up the trade and the team kill, I think. So numbers 4 in Lethal Gaming still at this point. And that was a weird scenario. I'm surprised that team kill went down from Buzzo.
You know, it's good to see Juju recovering from the infamous play yesterday. Everyone saw that one, kind of went trending on Twitter. He's still got a chance to qualify for bracket, if I'm not mistaken, but it comes with winning a series here and hoping for some things to go in their favor. Human Jesus and crew rotating now towards this top hotel hallway, down by or potentially going to go down here if Mindfreak continue to hold on. They're nowhere near this hard point, so the Aussie boys will take the lead. What can they do to break? All they have is Juju's payload.
Yeah, I think you have to try and save that for later on. He does pick up a 2-piece, gets traded up by Shox. Shox going to be the last one alive, so he is taken out by Clink there. So some solid scrap time, 27 seconds here left in this hard point, and they have the camo in the back pocket, so this is looking really good for Lethal to close this out in a 3-1 scenario. I don't think there's streaks on the side of Mindfreak. Doesn't look like players have been streaking at all. So very comfortable locking down Plat there. Nice shots from Juju. They're completely locking this down. Split spot scenario, though. They need to be careful.
Yeah, we will wind up seeing one more hard point. Again, if you're just tuning into the stream, we will be going back to United and Infuse directly after this. Wanted to show this outcome as, again, very impactful on how the bracket plays. We haven't missed much in that Search and Destroy at all. Still nearly only halfway done with that game, but back to this map at hand. Wow! A snap there from Shox. 236 to 226. Mindfreak still down by 10, but they've got bodies near the hard point.
Yeah, I just want to see how Juju decides to use this camo. I think you have to use it at this point to try and get a first blood. They need to regroup here. Just take a second. Wait for your teammates to spawn up. I like it. And as soon as you get that chance, maybe go on a flank here or just hit the hill with the camo as well. Decides to pop it. What does he do with it? Spots a couple of players. Huge gunfight onto Shox. Can he turn? No, gets traded out, so not the best camo use ever. Hate picks up 2, though. They get the clean wipe. That should be able to end this game here. 240 points for them. 10 seconds left.
Shox has camo, though. Shox can use this here just to get to the hard point, but they need to win the gunfights. He will make it in time.
Okay.
247 to 239. He's playing his life. First blood now for Lethal. No trade there. This should be enough. Lethal Gaming take it 250 to 239.
Wow, Lethal Gaming, just when we counted them out, they upset Mindfreak here, and now this makes Pool C all kinds of chaotic. United, they're looking clean at 2-0, but you got Infuse still alive in that United match at 1-1. Mindfreak and Lethal Gaming at 1-2. So even if United beats Infused here, we have a 3-way tie, and we'll have to have the League Ops team tell us, wow, how is this one going to sort out? Pretty incredible stuff here, Jack.
All I know is this. We're talking so much about Infused and United. Let's get back to the game. Infused currently up 4-3 now in the Search and Destroy. Talk about an important map. They need to not only take this, but then sneak a respawn off. I don't know if that's going to wind up happening. I don't know if I even believe it, but hey, it might wind up playing up like that. It's champs, baby.
Infused controls their fate right here. I mean, if you beat United in this series, you are going into the bracket. The game is loaded up once again. Go ahead, Teep.
All right. Back into the Search and Destroy now. We'll see how things lie, what sort of payloads might be at the ready for either side. Silly having a hell of a game. Infused do have this lead, though. The sniper from Nolson was very, very effective early on in this one. And it seems like it is backing down that United side, but I guess not. Silly just takes the challenge.
You say Silly's having a great game. If he's shooting like that, it doesn't surprise me. Now 11-4, baits himself perfectly, as now he's in a 1-versus-1 reactive armor. Though for Alec,
he got a pop.
Alex, he's going to use it right away. Silly trying to run for his life. He spots the reactive. He should know it's there. Reactive now burned. One-on-one. Silly's ready. Silly reads him like a book. And that's why this man continues to improve in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Such good composure overall. Completely outplays Alex in this sort of scenario. Gets the call out as soon as that player goes into the top window. And you have to use reactive there. I'm not questioning that, but it's too early. That middle map area, there's so many places for Silly to run back to. The top window there, which you saw him do, the cell block, all the way to the back truck. Man, unfortunate there for Alex.
I think the big thing is it's called reactive armor for a reason. You don't have to pop that free. You can start getting shot at, pop that as you react to it, and then have the extra armor to defend yourself. Look at this from United. They want to swarm these players. Tacticals have come in for Steenie with first blood. Zerg there for the trade. Now multiple players pushing through the spiral area. Infused have bodies here. This is not going to be an easy round for United.
2 versus 2 right now. Zerg did a great job of not getting taken out. He's go for that, but I guess it doesn't matter. Clay goes on the insta-flank. Catches both players with their pants around their ankles a bit there. And so a nice couple of rounds in a row. Silly clutching up, Clay on the flank, and now United have a 5-4 lead.
Yeah, doesn't get much easier than that for those kills for Clayster. Doesn't take a point of damage. United were down 4-3, now up 5-4. Again, we talk about how important these maps are. United at 2-0 in this group. Infused at 1-1, and little do they know is that Lethal just took down Mindfreak. We could have 3 teams at 1-2 if they can come back in this series.
Well, I think this game's going to be over quite soon. Silly has the payload. I believe he has FTL. Persini has
He's got another
the
first blood on
all-powerful
Nolson.
camo, and Silly's just challenging everything at the middle of the map. getting caught out. I'm not sure if it's just team shots or if he's just hitting headshots. He is absolutely melting across the map. Shini pops the camo, picks up one, does get traded out, so not the best camo again. But
look at the minimap. It's our cities this time. Try to play the Clayster spot, going for a pinch. Unfortunately, he's going to get there a little bit late.
Silly completely finds out where the last 2 players of Infused are. Going to set up a sort of pinch scenario here. Does have the FTL, possibly Streaks. I doubt Silly's even going to need him. So Zerv going to get caught out. Tries to FTL towards that back door. Not going to work out for him. Now Alex stuck in another clutch scenario. Didn't pay off for him in the couple rounds earlier.
And Silly 14-4. Streaks now to use. They're going to stay active on the map, it appears. Maybe even calling the streak. Yeah, they've spotted him. They know he's inside showers. That's all the information they need. They can now act off that yet again. I mean, I will say, if somehow Alex clutches this and the Trinity's now been used, this could be the saving grace for Infused, but time ticking down. His hand has been forced. Can't get him. Both. Nope,
Ooh.
Doesn't spot him. E United take the map 6-4.
And there you have it. Silly leading E United to a 2-0 lead. As this is the final match in Pool C. We do have a lot going on, though, around the room. And E United, they're looking like they are primed to lock things up for that first seed in the group. We're still going to have League Ops tell us what's happening with that second seed now if Infused loses game number 3. But over on Pool D, we got to talk about what's happening here. Luminosity, they looked up, they looked down. They looked up again in the uplink, Momo.
Yeah, they certainly did. To recap, the Search and Destroy, obviously Luminosity did lose to Vitality. It stood at 1-on-1. We went into the uplink, and this is where Luminosity showed us what they were really made of. Yesterday they lost to Rise, but they came out hot here in the uplink. I think, it started, 10, 15, it was just getting out of control. And Luminosity, really, this is what we kind of saw. And if you look to the top right there, Luminosity not crazy out slaying here, but every single one of them positive, every single one of them putting points on the board towards the end as well, and really just showing us why they are one of the greatest teams here on uplink itself.
And we saw Whalers having a much better game than its hardpoint. He had a pretty solid Search and Destroy, but the numbers still all in favor of Luminosity.
Wow.
Now, we saw this one finish. I believe it was 15-1, but Momo, if we take a peek at the screen now, it was 70 points unanswered for Vitality at the start of their hard point. Now it's within a 3-point game. LG is right back in it. So LG looking to kind of establish some dominance in that series. Rise Nation supremacy, they are currently in a round 11. You hear Brycey screaming in the background over on Bravo. That match is still going on. We'll keep you updated with everything that is happening as groups come to a close. But when we return, we're jumping right back into game number 3. It is E United taking on Infused in uplink. Welcome back to the 2017 Call of Duty World League Championship. $1.5 million on the line, and of course you see a lot of players wearing headphones today. If you want to wear an awesome pair of headphones at home, we got good news. Our friends at Astro Gaming, they have put out some affordable newbies. Jack, break down the new stuff. What do you got in your hands?
You see what I'm holding right here? This is the brand new 810 headset. The first one just got released last week. This one for $70. Just got released, I think, today. It's all the branding. It's all Call of Duty.
What are you doing?
AstroGaming.com. Go get yourself a pair.
That's not the first time he's done that.
Absolutely fantastic.
All right. Of course, we also have the A40TR custom kit. It's the mod kit. You can add everything new to your old headset, rebrand it, make it fresh.
Just don't pick that one up.
You no longer want this headset.
No one should touch that pair of
specific one.
So let's calm down for a second.
I'm good.
I won lots of tournaments with Astro products. They're fantastic. Won a world championship with them. You can't get better.
I love it.
Simple as that.
There's your plug, guys. We're going back into the action. Shout out to all of our friends at Astro who are hanging out backstage with us throughout the week. But right back into the games, we got to talk a little bit about where we're at. If you're just joining us, of course, E-United, that team on your screen, juggernaut all year. Atlanta, they shocked us. Dallas, we kind of expected them to be in the grand finals. And then you got that guy at the end there, the little scraggly beard. That's the good old Clayster, world champion. He won his ring back with denial after getting dropped from his original team. Same situation now. Dropped by FaZe, finds himself on E-United. This is a threat to go the distance this week in TP.
Most definitely. One of the favorites. Had a very, very solid showing at the Stage 2 playoffs as well. That's the most fresh thing in our mind. So definitely brought an improvement for these guys. Seems like Arstees and Prasini have been playing at a better level than ever. Clay topping the KD leaderboards in a lot of scenarios in Stage 2. Sky's the limit for these guys right now.
A 1.21 respawn, KD.
Not bad.
Not so bad. He's got a chance to pad some of those stats as we go into game number 3. Here's a look, though, at Group C. Of course, we all thought coming into day 2, it's E-United. Mindfreak won the big one over Infused. It should be E-United, Mindfreak definitely going through it. Well, Lethal Gaming just threw a wrench into everybody's plans. The 3-1 upset over Mindfreak means that if Infused loses right here to E-United, we have a 3-way tie, and our League Ops team is going to have to tell us how that one will be sorted out because only 2 of these 4 are moving into the bracket. The game is loading up. We're ready to get into it, and we got a sniper route. It's in the hands of Clayster. Mr. Courage, take it away.
This is what Clay loves about playing with this team, man. Clayster, first blood with the sniper. You're not ready for that in a game mode like Uplink. As already E-United look to take middle map control, thankfully for the side of Infused. They've got a couple kills to answer back.
Clay's still just holding down this top green side, trying to hit some quick scopes onto the enemy side. Top player does not want to challenge him. He is traded out, though, so just don't snipe. If you're trying to learn how to play Uplink in specific, yeah, Clay hit a nice shot there, but what are you going to do afterwards? The answer is nothing. They get countered on right away, and Infuse gets the point on the board.
So at the end of the day, TP not a fan of your sniper play. But
hey, it's a nice shot, but
it was. But at the end of the day, not the ideal weapon you want to have. There's a reason why you only see it off the break of very large maps, especially like Hardpoint on Retaliation. But back to focusing on Infuse. This is their big focus here. They have a chance to get themselves, if they take the series, 2-1 overall series count, which would then give them that second place spot in the group. But then if they lose it, who knows how this will all play out. Some shaky shots there from Silly for the moment. He's buying time, though, for his teammate in Clayster to run this drone forward. There's the dunk. E-United now in the lead.
Great play there. Silly picking up multiple kills with that E-Rad towards the middle of the map. Picks up the 3rd as well, going towards that bus side. Trying to just play his life here for just a second so his teammates can spawn up and flood up towards that middle of the map once again. Drone control going to be back into Infused's favor. Trying to do their best to stay alive in this one. And, the cards are in their hands now. They can somehow pull off a reverse sweep. They can sort of have a chance to make it to the bracket play.
Yep.
But they need a miracle at this point.
They most certainly do. We were kind of talking during the break, and we said, I think I openly said I've never been more confident in anything in my life than for E-United to take this uplink and win the series 3-0. I think I openly said that. That's just how good they've looked in respawn game modes, how I think they're just the higher caliber team, just simple as that. I don't think there'd be many people who disagree with me, outside of maybe the owners of Infused. As now Silly, cut down by the quick E-Rad pressure of Nile, who at times this year has looked great, TP, but I think this perfectly sums up his play. You're either getting a great Nile or a pretty bad Nile, and that's been the downfall for the teams he's been on throughout IW.
Yeah, you could say that about a lot of players, to be honest. The consistency has, it's hard to find sometimes, especially towards the top level. If you're not, I don't know, completely confident in your team, things just aren't going well, you're not getting great practice. When you get to tournament environments like this, it can be hard to be able to perform time and time again against a bunch of different types of players, play styles, things like that. But regardless, no excuses. The best teams are going to win here. Well,
right now, look at the kill feed. It is all red. You've got 3 players positive. Nolson in the worst KD-wise at just even. Now he jumps into the green as Infused starts just wiping E United off the map so far. Up only 3-2, but still already impressing me in the first few minutes, TP.
What Infused have done such a great job of is what Nile's doing right now. Controlling this top green area, and when you have an ERAD player there, you're going to pick up multiple weapons. You have that line of sight towards the drone. You create basically a lane. You force the other team to stay at this hay area, just basically sit in the back of the base. Just so many things are being done for you automatically just controlling that area.
Well, 4-2 now. E United have not been able to breathe for the larger part of this map. Infused still putting on the pressure. Even here, yes, Nolson will die, but the fact that he takes one with him to the grave, an AR player in our cities, helps relieve some of those long-range sight lines, lets Nile with that ERAD get back in a position. You see he does die there. Clayster spots him. But either way, 4-2 Infused. They're still holding on to this lead. They're now all 4 up, and they're pushing back towards middle map.
Silly. Last one alive to the middle map just for now. Trying to get the second gunfight win. A nice 2-piece from him as he swaps over. Gets the third as well with that NV4. Now, possibly a 1-point attempt could be coming in from the E United side as they wave up this pressure towards Bowling. First gunfight going to be lost from Bristini there. Clayster staying alive towards Bus, just sort of hanging out, waiting for the rest of his team to get up towards the middle of the map. 3 versus 3 scenario as the spawners are going to be spawning back up. Drone, unfortunately, gets reset, so they have to take a step backward. Focus on that one first before they go for a score.
TP, I'm hearing some very juicy things
what happened, Jack?
Said about these tiebreakers and how this is all going to play out. I know we're going to get a full explanation later, but from what I'm understanding, if E United take this, we have a 3-way tie in this group.
Wait, in maps too? Is that what you're saying?
I believe so, which would then put them to a round-robin S&D tiebreaker.
I think the last time that happened was Ghost Champs.
I mean,
with Joe's team.
That's like I wish we could put them all on one stage and face them at each other and like just go around in circles and play.
That's awesome.
That sounds nice and juicy. We told you this is what it's all about at Champs. United will put up 1 point there.
I know our jobs are to not be biased. Scratch that. I'm biased. I want to see that. I need to see that, actually.
I know our jobs are not to be biased, but, well, damn it, I'm biased right now.
Just for this moment.
Just for this one series.
Come on, United. No, I'm kidding.
As there you see the final moment. Silly did throw that one on in, so it's a 1-point lead for Infused. They've held off for 5 minutes so far. We'll see if they can continue to do so here. But when we talk about that tiebreaker, it's simply gone away if Infused win this series. They are down 2-0. They are facing United. You don't think that's going to happen, but hey, you never know.
All right. So, getting into the second half of Uplink, Infused have a bit of a lead here. 1-point lead. They did a great job controlling the top side of the maps on either side, those top windows. But Silly, having another solid game here. Archides, I didn't even notice how bad he was doing in this one. -10 at this point, 3 kills and a half. Whew. Jack, that's looking like you in Respawn right now.
Thank you there, TP. You had to throw that one there, didn't you, bud? Okay. Well, I see how it is for this. From now on, I will not address you by your first name.
Okay, I'm sorry.
As now, we'll go ahead and see where Archides can go with this drone. You might as well give him the drone because he can't shoot straight right now, right? I like that thought process here. As he will not drop the drone at this point. Simple as that. Archides now dead. Drone now recovered by Infused. You can see Clayster just trying to stay alive and play spoiler here. And it looks like he'll do just that as he's cut down Alex.
Great job as him and Silly pick up a couple of kills there. Drone is put down in a weird sort of spot right now. Trades going down, back and forth. No team can get really absolute control of this barn side of the map. It's so darn hard to push on this top side. Some shaky shots from Silly does end up taking that kill, but once the drone resets, now you have to rotate all the way back to the other side of the map. Archides with a nice shot there, picks up his 4th kill of the map, which is weird to say, going into the late of the second half.
I think this is one of the worst maps I've seen Archides have in Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
Because when we talk about player consistency, normally he's actually one of the more consistent players. He's never someone at a 1.2 or a 0.8. He's right at about a 1. You can expect for him to put up enough numbers to help his team win. There goes a long one-point throw, intercepted by Infused. They keep the lead in their favor. 3 minutes left. This is absolutely possible.
This is just kind of strange to see from E United. It's like a lot of desperation attempts with the drone, not really clearing out that lane first. As we see Zerg now trying to find this player that was his top sort of side, but he's been long gone at this point. Going to try and lock down this drone so it can't progress. Shots getting taken, though. Drone is moving pretty quick. Clay takes him out, but still just back and forth. The top side of the map, we see it time and time again. Clayster with a nice beatdown. A one-point attempt should be going in soon here from Silly. Has the FTL pass coming into Bristini.
No.
He gets taken out, though. The FTL in.
No!
Oh,
Clayster's still there. He's trying to slide across. Gets the drone. Not going to happen. Infused hold again as they keep the 1-point lead. FTL used a botched pass. Came in as Bristini was already dead. You said desperation. That looks so desperate for me, United.
Absolutely desperate. Just hit the one. It'd be a tie game. At this point, they had plenty of time to do it and could have had guns up to win some of those gunfights. Just uncharacteristic mistakes from United. This one, I'm not sure if the communication's off or they're just not really focused up in this one. But at this point, that's just easy 1 points. That's what should be happening.
I'm now receiving word that if Infused just win this uplink, they will finish second in this group. So this is absolutely huge right now for Infused. They need to hold on for 2 more minutes. That solves all their issues. Forget winning the whole damn series. Win the uplink, and they're already in a great spot to do so. They've got to hold their base, and that just shows how intense this truly could be. Nile holding off this middle lane. Pristini now there as the lead blocker. They have still yet to go for the one. Now they'll settle for it. There it is. E United have tied the game with 90 seconds left.
Most importantly, Clay's still alive in the base. He loses the gunfight, though. So that gunfight one from Alex is absolutely huge, so they can regain a bit towards their side of the base. But E United seems to have a lot of pressure right now. Silly gets absolutely destroyed there towards top green. Bristini trying to be a pest. He's taken out. Huge wave of kills. Some payloads being earned on the side from Infused as well. They have the overdrive at the ready. I'm not sure what else they have. It is the FTL.
E United fighting from their base. Silly trying to stay alive. Zerg looking to get cheeky with the FTL. Not going to happen. 3 make it, 4 dead. 1 minute left. No camo on either side. This is for the hopes of Infused. Remember, if they take this map, Infused gets second in the group. Now E United, who've been fighting the back foot the whole time, looking to take their first lead. The drone now in the hands of E United. This should be a dunk. Arseny's going in. E United now take the lead with just 45 seconds left.
Infused, not like this. Oh, they've had the lead for 90% of the game, and then all of a sudden E United lights up, takes it on that barn side of the map, and get back-to-back points. Now have the lead. Some slays are going down back and forth, and all United needs to do is play some keep away at this point. They're holding the drone. They're just going to throw it down in this top green and lock down both of the window and the doorway. It's going to be so tough for Infused to get back in here. They win the gunfights, and I think that's going to be it. Clayster picks up the double. Only 20 seconds left. Still have drone control. That's going to be it, Jack.
Wow. In the end of it all, E United will wind up securing the map victory, which, again, I do believe means we have ourselves a 3-way tiebreaker in this Group C. This is what it's all about. E United sit atop. Who will be joining them in that second place spot?
Ooh, and I know a lot of Australians out there, they just let out a massive sigh of relief. Their team, Mind Freak, is still in the running. They still have a chance of going to playoffs. But a round-robin S&D battle. Crazy way to finish this. And the craziest part is I was actually on Twitter talking with Mind Freak's owner, Naked, last night, and he said, we've been in 2 of the last 3 COD champs, 3-way ties. This would be 3 of 4. Of all the COD champs, they've been to 3 3-way ties.
Wow, that's right.
Insane stuff, and that's getting me excited. If you guys are in Orlando, you better start getting pumped up because 16 teams will be playing for $1.5 million. The $600,000 still up for grabs for first place. We should update you with where we're at in the other groups, though. Going over to Group D, of course, we were watching Luminosity going up against Vitality. That one is done. It's dusted. LG, they will be advancing to the bracket supremacy. They are playing against Rise Nation, and Rise, they should have that one locked up. Here's a look, though, at how Luminosity closed out the series. Momo, are they back on top, or are they back to where we expected them to be?
I don't know. Yeah, they're winning, but for me, should be more convincing. I don't want to discredit Vitality. A European squad, you know, they fought their way here through last chance qualifiers. For me, though, a team like Luminosity, they should be handling this a lot easier. But you know, like Teep says, you know, you've got a different feeling in group play to kind of bracket play. Are they going to change things as going into bracket? I think so. I think they'll probably start to heat up. But LG, you know, they win. And that's the important thing for those guys.
2-1 finish should be good, but of course Rise is not completely finished quite yet. Here's a look at how things have played out, though, on Station 2. Let's take a look. Rise and Supremacy. Of course, Supremacy, one of the French squads in this tournament. A lot of fans have been on Twitter cheering them on. This one, Search and Destroy, goes to around 11. Should we be concerned about Rise Nation's game, guys?
I don't know. How many times have we seen these guys, these players in particular, go to round 11s and just are able to sort of clutch up? So I want to say, yes, that shouldn't be happening, especially versus a squad like Supremacy, in my opinion. But it's kind of natural for them at this point.
You see Aqua here. He was left in the one-on-one, but look at the timing he gets. Couldn't ask for anything better. Whew. He'll win that round 11 for Rise Nation. And then again, now into the uplink. Cool, calm, and collected. Rise in control.
Rise looking strong throughout the uplink, and I believe that should be the 3-0. Yeah,
yep.
So we updated that bracket. There we go. Thank you, production, letting us know it will be Rise, it will be Luminosity moving forward. Keep your eyes on these two squads throughout the week. And Rise, these are COD Champs players. Yep. Can always go deep. Never count out Vicento and Aqua. We will see how the rest of the weekend plays out. For now, we're going to a short break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at our next set of matches. 2 more rounds to go. Don't go anywhere.